Happy Saturday! Welcome to the Scoop World Order. The Bucks down Penn State in-state college. Scoop had it first, I guess you could say. We had this thing nailed. We've been projecting this game correctly, and we nailed it. It was a fun one today, guys. I mean, I tell you, if you can't enjoy this one, road game, tough environment, top 5 win. And frankly, we left a lot of meat on the bone. Obviously, with the fumble going into the end zone. Pick 6. I mean, this thing could have been a 4-score victory. So dominating performance by Ohio State. And obviously my MVP, this is going to be sentimental, is Carson Hinsman coming off the bench. Played fantastic. Donnie was great at left tackle. Shout out to the offensive line. Will Howard's a monster. What an amazing thing. I'm going to get right into this thing. If you guys enjoy this content, which I know you guys do, we're going to have a huge show today. Again, if you guys get your super chats fired up, those go to Pay It Forward. It is the giving season. Officially, we're into November. As we march into Christmas, take care of our veterans, our police officers, all the people that serve us and take care of us and keep our community safe. Thank you guys for all that you guys do. We appreciate you guys. You're not forgotten on BuckeyeScoop.com, so we're making a point to thank you, especially our boys in blue, our law enforcement. Thank you guys for all that you guys do to keep us safe in this country. If you guys enjoy this content, please leave us a like, click subscribe, also click that little alert bell. Again, we appreciate you guys for being on here. If you want to do something huge for us, get on Apple Podcasts, click subscribe to Buckeye Scoop. That is the biggest thing you can do to help us. Also do that on Spotify. But we'll get right into it with Nevada, are we still firing Jim Knowles and getting rid of Will Howard, or no?
Well, it's funny. Obviously, I predicted 24-17 Ohio State would win, so I apologize to everybody for missing the game like that. Because people like us to get the predictions perfect. But no, I'm the biggest Will Howard fan on the planet. I did not think Will Howard played a great game today. I mean, we won, but he was imperfect. But in the college game, he did enough. He did enough with his legs. They missed touchdown earlier in the to Carnell. They came back and scored on that drive anyway. The fumble near the goal line was unfortunate. The pick 6 obviously set the time. And we were down 10-0 in the first whatever of the game, first possession of our game. So to come back and win that way, the defense was magnificent. I know Knowles takes a lot of garbage. I know he'll get no credit this week. I know the people that are going to complain about Knowles are always going to complain about Knowles. But I mean, there's literally a thread on our board saying that Knowles is stealing money from the Ohio taxpayers. That was the take of somebody today. So I mean, I thought the defense was absolutely magnificent. They came up big when they needed to. Sans the pick 6 only gave up 6 points the entire game. What a great win. What a great win on the road. I'm so happy for Ryan Day. I'm so happy for Will Howard. I'm so happy for Carson Hinsman. Carson Hinsman has been a guy that we have been lobbying for months now to say, we don't understand how he cannot be in the line. You've got to get this guy in the line. I mean, he started 12 games last year. I didn't think he was terrible. He was an iron Buckeye. He stuck it out. He's the heart and soul of that offensive line. And they freaking put him in there at left guard. I thought he played great. I don't know. I haven't done the film review. I'll defer to my partner, the old All-American, to really review the line play. But it didn't seem like he was getting beat a lot. And I thought the offensive line played great. I'm telling you, Donnie Jackson is better at tackle than he is at guard. I know he got beat twice, and that's okay. Donnie Jackson was great. So I could not be – this made it for me. What a great win. What a clutch win. Answered so many questions about the team, about how they respond. Can they go on the road? Look, we lost one game on the road to number 1 team in the country by 1 point. And, sometimes you got to go through that. And then you come back, you face some adversity today. And adversity is a pick 6 on your first offensive possession. You're down 10-0. Everybody in State College, Pennsylvania is going crazy. And you come back and you just dominate them and you win the game. I couldn't, and despite Will fumbling on the 6-inch line, whatever the heck that was. But no, it was an imperfect game, played imperfectly by some of our big time players, but we won. And we won it. And frankly, we should have won bigger. We were so much better than Penn State. If we'd have lost to Penn State, this post-game show would have been like, guys, I don't know what to say to you. We're just way better than Penn State. but we were better. We won. The game went under, which is what I thought it would go. That was my bet on the game. That's what I posted on our betting thread. I thought this was an under game the whole way, and we freaking won. So I am so happy. I just can't even tell you how. I'm happy for us. I'm happy for the players. I'm happy for the fans. I'm happy for everybody that's part of Ohio State football. This is just a great day.
Yeah, I thought that the game plan. Outside, I had major beef with the long yardage when we were in empty protection, which is when we were in 4 or 5 wides, and we had Donnie by himself without chipping on Abdul Carter, which we did that 3 times. 2 times we gave up a sack. 1 time should have been a holding call. We were lucky they didn't call holding. It was an obvious hold, but the refs obviously love us, or they took the under or something. I don't know. But outside of that, I really liked the game plan. I liked running Will Howard. Again, it's lethal. When we needed it the most to ice the game down, we ran the quarterback. We ran Q lead, and Quinshon buckled the guy's knees with the edge block, and then Will Howard, got through the crease, got the first down, slid. Which again, that's all I want. I want Will Howard to get on the edge and protect himself. Again, he does not need to take hits. I mean, you can do the Q run game and slide or dive or do something where I don't want him to absorb a hit from a safety or a linebacker. But I mean, I thought he was, obviously, his mental toughness when he makes some mistakes is incredible. Because I mean, he throws the pick six, and when you're at that place where I've played a couple times and coached, like you throw a pick six there, man, it's like Dante's Inferno. I mean, it's literally like you're in hell because it's so loud, and it's like that's exactly what Penn State hopes, is that there's some sort of humongous play. But I mean, after that, we really kind of suffocated the crowd, and they really weren't much of a factor because, again, we ran the ball. I thought our defense was tough. I pray to God that Tyreek's okay. I mean, because Tyreek didn't finish the game, which is scary. But again, we got a goal line stop with them running right at our 2, right at Hero Canoe, right at our Caden McDonald. So again, like it wasn't vomit when we put the backup guys in. Like those guys stepped up and got the stop of the year. I mean, again, we made a goal line stop on 4th and 1 from the 1 yard line. Like that's the old classic. Imagine you got Ohio State on the 1 yard line, and this is why we do this in training camp, and this is why it's tough, and this is why you do conditioning drills, so that when it's 4th and 1 on the 1 yard line, you can get the push to beat Ohio State and win. But they couldn't. And again, it's amazing that there are people that were dumb enough to pick Penn State in this game, because we've owned Penn State for so long, like literally since like 08. I mean, really since like 02. I mean, they've beaten us like 3 times in like 23 years or something crazy. And I'm like, people really think that James Franklin is going to, I mean, once the leopard shows his spots, guys, you got to start to believe it. I mean, he's been there forever. I mean, he's been there since Bill O'Brien left, and he beat us 1 time on a miracle field goal block in 16. And other than that, even when he had far better teams like that 17 team, he still finds a way to screw it up. He'll go to the podium and say that we're not elite and they are elite and whatever, but it is what it is. And again, I give a lot of credit to the staff. Like I thought, like Jim Knowles called a great game. That Cody Simon was great. Again, he's really a spark on defense. I don't know. I'm happy for the guys, because I know how, after that Nebraska performance and how these guys have been eaten alive by, frankly, our fan base for the last week. I mean, it's great. And again, there's no one in the universe I'm happy for than Carson Hinsman, because Carson, again, I don't know why he got relegated to being Quasimodo in the bell tower for the last year. I mean, like really since, after the Michigan game, I mean, he got sent to purgatory. And dude, that kid showed up and played great today, I thought. And again, he's a kid that, when you're managing the crowd noise, he has experience at Notre Dame and Michigan. I talked about how important it is to have that at Penn State. He knows the offense like the back of his hand because he was a center last year. So, he's not a guy to have to worry about with missed assignments. And he was physical. He played with a lot of energy. I mean, I was watching Carson for almost the whole game, and I was just happy for him. Because again, that kid, it's when you get made an example of, like he has been for whatever reason. And again, I question the intelligence of our coaches when they do something like that and they play 4 different guys before they put that guy in. Because again, I just think that sometimes our guys are a little too dumb. And you put that kid in, he plays great. And I'm like, why didn't you play him the last few weeks when you've been juggling in, Luke Montgomery and Austin and all these other guys? And Carson, started 12 games last year. did everything right in the offseason, had a monstrous offseason. When Iron Buckeye got bigger, got stronger, got faster, and it showed out today. So again, we went through a hostile environment. You had to put Donnie at left tackle, which is, again, it's impossibly hard to move a guy to left tackle when he's never played it at the college level. And then he's got to play Abdul Carter, and he's got to play at Beaver Stadium, the loudest stadium in the country. Like, that's as hard of a first start as you'll ever get in college football. And he hung in there. He did well. And again, there were times where we didn't chip, which I was screaming because it's stupid not to, versus when they have one fantastic pass rusher and you let him get a couple sacks, there's nothing that pisses me off more when I watch football than when we don't help a tackle, especially Donnie, who hasn't played tackle, and he's playing, and he was laid off the ball because it's so loud on third down there. I played tackle there. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And he was late, and the guy got around the corner. And you can prevent that by just having G. Scott in the hip. And honestly, G did a great job of helping out on the pass rushers when they left him in. And again, he doesn't have to pancake the guy. He just has to disrupt his timing. Just run into him for a split second. So G did a good job. So again, why they didn't do that, I have no idea. Because again, I think sometimes our guys are smarter than they need to be. And sometimes they're just, I don't know. What else about it? Because again, there's a lot to unpack here. The super chats are starting to fly in, but this was a good one, And it's the funny thing is as much as the fan base wants to cancel the season and people want to be negative and leave the program and fire Ryan Day, like we're like 1 point away from being the number one team unanimously in the entire country. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, the defense bows its back, stops them on the 1 yard line. The offense then gets the ball, proceeds to run it 11 straight times to close the game out. I mean, come on. I mean, it does not get any better than that. And, Will Howard had the presence of mind that he breaks that last one. He could have kept running, but he just goes down because, just take the knee. It was just beautiful. Everything about that was beautiful. But running it off the goal line from the 1 yard line when they know you got to run, and you do it because everybody in the world is expecting you're going to get 3 stops, and then you're going to punt it, and then we're just going to be gripping the last 3 minutes or whatever it's going to be is all they're throwing at the end zone. And the freaking offense takes the ball and runs the air out of the clock with 5 first downs or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. That is such a great. That's the first road win since you did it. I think
the Texas,
right?
Texas, 06.
Yeah, it's 06 Texas. So I mean, I've been saying it for a long time. Do I think Ryan Day's perfect? No, I don't think Ryan Day's perfect. He's a work in progress. But do you really want to fire a guy that you've gone through all the kind of the growing pains? And when we've seen him kind of grow on the job, we've seen him give up play calling, go to the CEO role, hire better coaches, master the NIL game and the fundraising, and recruiting's at a high level, and academics are high level. And you want to fire this guy? It's like, man, I'm telling you, things could be a lot worse for Ohio State than where we're at. And this was a big win for Ohio State. This is the one. This is the type when we talk about those types of wins that can propel you the rest of the time and kind of look. We've played at Oregon and at Penn State, and I know Penn State's not a great football team, but that was a great football game, and that's a great football environment. And we've proved we can play with anybody, anywhere. Let's get some home games. Let's get some neutral site games against somebody, and I'll line up with this team against anybody. Because Will Howard did not have a good game. Will Howard I didn't think he was sharp. He was floating the ball a little bit into. Clearly he got spooked on that first pick six, and I understand it. But they found a way. They found a way to win. They found a way to win convincingly. This is a big win in the eyes of the pollsters. A big win in the eyes of the country. What a great win. Just a transitional win for Ryan Day in terms of putting to bed these dumb narratives about, they can't do things. Now, I'm going to wait for the Post tomorrow talking about how does Jim Knowles in the fourth quarter do against top 5 defenses? Are we going to see that stuff? No, we're not going to see that because it didn't fit the thing. So they'll move on to the next stupid thing, talking about how good Enoch Vamahi was at Washington or something like that. I mean, they found the line. I love it because we knew it. I'm telling you, Donnie's better at tackle, and that line was cooking today. I'm not saying they're better than when Jimmy Simmons was out there, but that was as good as line plays we've had all year. That was some good offensive line play right there. And Donnie's only going to get better with practice and with reps, and he's going to enhance his draft stock considerably being a guy that can play all over the line, do all these things. There were some things coming out earlier in the week about Donnie doesn't want to move out there. His family doesn't want to move out there. Well, I'm sure glad that he moved out there today because he put on a clinic today against a really good Penn State. Yeah, he got beat for a couple sacks. That's okay. That was going to happen. One-on-one. I thought the second one, Will was a little slow getting through the hole. Could have stepped up and moved. I thought we left yards and points all over the field today, but still won by 7 at Penn State. Great win. And yeah, I mean, and the defense, Lathan being back makes a big difference. Sonny, I'm still waiting for Sonny to make some big. I hate to even say anything negative on a day like today, but man, I wish Sonny was better. But I thought the defensive line really controlled the line of scrimmage. They weren't fooled by anything. I mean, Aller running was a little unfortunate, but Aller's never going to beat you with his legs. If Drew Aller's running the ball, we're okay. You got to give up something. So I didn't see the final stats. Hold on here. Let me call up the final stats of the game. I mean, how many yards did Penn State have in the game? It couldn't have been a ton.
Not a ton. Let me look. I'm looking right now too.
Oh, hold on here.
So Nevada, is this still going to be a good win, or is Penn State not good now?
Well, no, it doesn't count because they're going to fall out of the top 5. But yeah, Penn State had 2.
This isn't a top 5 win anymore because they're going to fall out of the top 5
now. Yeah. Penn State had 270 yards total offense. And 6 points. Now it's going to go down to 13, but you can't count a pick 6 against the defense. I mean, I know some people will do that, and that's okay. Fire Knowles and everything like that. But man, they came to play today, and yeah, what a great win. What a great win, and I'm just so happy. I love wins like this because I think that you can see how this can be a launching pad for this Ohio State team to be as good as we think that they can be. Now you've got the line kind of cooking. Will Howard playing in that tough environment, kind of get those, shake that stuff. We're finding the running game again, and our defense was stifling today. So, yeah, very, very happy, and very, very happy it worked out the way we thought it was going to work out as well.
I thought it was one of the this was something that the team needed. Because again, it's been tough since Oregon. Nebraska obviously was, people were ready to cancel the season. And people were, this team's entitled. They're babies. They're not good. They don't care. They're despondent. And the other guys played hard. I mean, again, it was obviously far from perfect. I mean, and like you said, we gave them 7 on a pick 6, and then we dropped the ball, or we don't secure the ball running into the end zone. So, I mean, this thing didn't really have to be close. I mean, this thing could have been 35-7, 35-6, whatever. But, I thought that the fact that we held that tight end to 4 catches, 40 yards, he had the one long run, which really skewed his stats. I mean, he had 3 carries for 47 yards with that 33-yarder. So, I mean, that guy's all Big Ten. That guy's their best player on offense, in my opinion, and completely suffocated him. Double teamed him on the goal line play where he was the first option. I honestly, I know they're like Kaytron Allen, but I mean, I would have ran the Wildcat with him on the 1 yard line because he ran to that 35. He got down to the 2 yard line or the 1 yard line, whatever it was. I'd hand it to him because he's a bigger body. But again, James Franklin must know. And their wizard offensive coordinator, who I've heard about I've heard about that guy all week, how great he is. That he got 6 points versus Ohio State. Because again, I'm like you. I don't count a pick 6 versus the defense. I don't think that's fair. I mean, I just, like I said, I was happy for Donnie, and again, you guys watch the show every night, and it's like I said, what an opportunity Donnie Jackson has to cement his legacy as a great Ohio State player, as a guy that he'll lock in all Big Ten. He'll probably lock in All-American at guard now because of this, because I think voters will say, hey, this guy's so good that he actually was able to go out and play at a really high level left tackle. So we're not going to, take him off the ballot for guard. So I think it locks him in as an All-American guard by doing that. I'm just happy for him. Because again, I said all week, with this great adversity comes great opportunity. This adversity of fan base is turning, Nebraska game, O-line getting whipped and beaten to death all week by the media, by the fans, by whoever. Those guys came out and played hard. And Penn State's got a good front. I mean, they're physical and they're tough. And, again, they do a good job on defense. And like I said, 11, there's guys on our roster that I wish played 11, because he is a legitimate pass rusher, explosive, fast. But part of their scheme that Chip Kelly identified and Ryan Day identified is like their ends. As much as everybody gives Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau all kinds of crap about their pass rushing, whatever, when they cage rush and they contain the quarterback, like Penn State's guys just run straight up the field, which is great if you're passing. But Chip Kelly kept running draws and lead draws and delayed handoffs where all of a sudden those guys would run up the field and there'd be a gigantic rushing lane. And I was like, that's the perfect play call. Like if that's what they want to do, they want to run past the quarterback and just run past the tackle and run to basically nowhere. Like then that's what you do. I mean, you just run draws against that. And it's like stealing. So again, I'm happy for the team. I think that these guys, I'm happy for Will Howard, especially. I'm happy for Ryan because Ryan Day has been, is he gone? Is he leaving forever? Like, I don't know. But I just think that this will be good for him. This is something that can catapult this team. As you look forward to the couple of cupcakes and you get Indiana, you get Michigan, and probably get Oregon again. Because I don't know. I think we run the table the rest of the way in Nevada, and then it's us and the Ducks again. So this has a chance to be a monstrous stretch to the season. We can start digging into some super chats. Nevada, you have anything else? Because these super chats are really starting to pile up.
Nah, let's get to the super chats because I don't want my phone to explode here in this.
Oh my God,
broadcasting. Yes,
all that betting. I love it. Sean, thanks for the 5. LFG Carson Hinsman answered the bell. Where the hell has that been all year for? I love that we ended the game running through Penn State. So yeah, I mean, again, he was it's probably over the top to call him the MVP, but I mean, he stepped in after not starting. He played like a starter. He acted like a starter. I mean, go rewatch the game. I mean, he was playing with a ton of energy. He was excited to be out there. He's finishing guys. And there's one time where Trey was kind of stalemated, like for a 2-yard gain, and Carson came in and shoved him forward to get another 2 or 3 yards. And all that adds up. I mean, again, Carson's energy I thought was infectious. And like I said, I've dealt with guys that have been benched, guys that have been or got their playing time reduced, and they go one of two ways. They either start working harder to try to re-earn the spot, or they go in the tank and looking at the portal and can I transfer to this Pac-12 school or this whatever SEC school or ACC school or whatever. And that's just kind of that's how these kids are, And Carson just kept his head down. He worked again after getting benched after the Cotton Bowl. All the kid did was go to work, and again. I've said this 1,000 times. Making Iron Buckeye is like the highest honor in the program. Like it's honestly, it's hard to be an Iron Buckeye as it is a captain, because I mean, captains are really only for seniors. So there's 20 guys that are eligible for captain each year. Like being an Iron Buckeye, there's 125 guys on the team, and they might have 8 or 10 of those guys that are Iron Buckeyes. So the skew, like for captain, you don't have freshmen, sophomores, and usually not juniors eligible to be captains. So like to get Iron Buckeye is harder to do year over year, in my opinion. And he did it. He's done it 2 straight years. So the kid's a worker, man. He wants to be good. I'm really happy for him. And I think it's a good step forward. Because again, I think you see our offensive line for the rest of the way. I'm sure you agree with that. Nevada, your thoughts about Carson Hinsman answering the bell, and how much did you love us running the ball to end the game?
Yeah, that was classic. I mean, in that situation, you're definitely hoping to get 1 first down. You're dreaming that you might get 2, and then you start thinking, wow, if we get 1 more, you start doing the little mental calculations, and then we just grind it out, and they never get the ball back from the 1 freaking yard line, and we never put the ball in the air. So, it's just a classic. You talk about toughness, whatever you want to call it. That was a man-sized drive, and big time. And like I said, trendsetter for the rest of the year. I'm telling you, that's the kind of stuff that will catapult you into the second half of the season. November's for champions, or whatever they say. And that was a big November win, big win for Ohio State, and big statement win for that offensive line.
Yeah, I think it's and again, that's one for Penn State's defense that is soul crushing. Because again, like you think, like a dream scenario if you're a defense is having someone pinned on the 1 yard line, and you're like, oh my God, like 1 yard line. Let's try to get a safety. Let's try to get them to punt it out of their end zone. And like, dude, our quarterbacks. I mean, this, and I'm not trying to be whatever, but like this might be the best quarterback sneak team I've ever seen at Ohio State, because we get like 5 yards when we run it, which is like, it's crazy. It's like teams don't realize that that's what's coming, but I'll tell you what, it's incredible how good the sneaks have been the last couple of weeks. Josh Dillon, thanks for the 10. Hope you're good, my friend. Dominate. I may have been wrong about the score, 38-10, but it should have been 27-6 minus Harrod's mistakes. We blew them out. Go Bucks, go Bolts. Yeah, like Nevada said, like Will had a couple of miscues today, and obviously, I think that the best part about it is that he didn't tank, and you see how tough the kid is, and it didn't bug him, which I think is a quality that people don't probably realize is really important in a quarterback, where you can't be scared to make a mistake. Now, obviously, you don't want to get the ball punched out, but that was more of just a faux pas on his. It wasn't like it's not like the pick six. The pick six is an error in judgment making that throw, but in the ball getting punched out, that's just having a brain fart, not protecting it, not clawing the ball like they like to call it. But I like I said, I love Will Howard at the end of games because he's at his best and he's not scared and he's not wide-eyed. He's not terrified. And I've played with quarterbacks that are terrified and they make the big mistake. They fumble at the end of the game, and it doesn't help the team win. But Will Howard today, when they needed it the most, man, they called his number and they had him run it, and he ran through that hole, man. And Quinshon is the lead blocker, a guy that's a first-team All-American type running back, being the lead blocker on a key lead play to ice the game. What an amazing call. Nevada, your thoughts? Josh Dillon again, thanks for the 10. He says, I may have been wrong about the score, but it should have been 27-6. But we blew him out. Again, you're more thoughts on Will Howard. Again, I know that he made those couple of mistakes, but at the end of the game, man, it's like, he's on the 1 yard line. He's not scared, again, because there's some quarterbacks, they could drop the snap. They could, take a sack in the end zone. And he pushed it. I mean, we got 50 yards on the last drive and iced the game out. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, he made two big mistakes. I mean, the pick six, obviously, the fumble near the end zone, very uncharacteristic, but it happens. But to his credit, battled through it, not having his best stuff. Sometimes you got to win not having your best stuff. Anybody who's ever been a pitcher in baseball, not every time you go out there feeling like Sandy Koufax. Sometimes you go out there and you're like, man, I'm just gonna have to get it out and find a way to win. And that's what he did. He wasn't great. He was not great today. And I felt it from the very beginning. I felt he got rattled on that early pick six, and he was kind of aiming the ball a little bit out there. But we won, and we won by 7. And we should have won by more. We're better than Penn State. But Ryan had him ready. I thought Chip called a great game. I thought Knowles was masterful. And, sometimes you got to win not having your best stuff. And we won. If Will plays his normal game, we win that game going away. But somehow this feels even better driving it off the 1 yard line like that. So maybe it was meant to be. But, I give Will a C for the game, maybe a C minus, and we still won. So, go Bucks.
Well, I mean, I think there's something that you gain from games like this Nebraska game, this Penn State game, because obviously at Nebraska, you didn't want it to be that close. Obviously, with I think that people after the Indiana where they just absolutely blew them out of the water, people were kind of down. But I think winning these tight games gives you a little bit of a callus that you can carry through. The Big Ten championship when we see Oregon again. The college football playoff. I think that, there's something to being able to compete and win in these big games. Because again, with Oregon, we're a bad OPI away from winning that one too. So these guys aren't scared to come back. These guys aren't scared to, hey, we're down and the defense got us to stop and let's go ice the game down. Let's go win the game. Let's go get in field goal position. I think there's something to that. Again, I know that everybody loves the OT Buckeyes, and I think God, if they played 14 games, 12 of them were close. They blew out Kent State and Washington State, I think it was Washington State. I can't remember, but everyone. I mean, they played in so many close games that I think it helped them down the stretch because it's all right. It's this time in the game again. So all right, let's let the adrenaline kick in and let's harness it the right way and not freak out and be spooked and whatever. So yeah, like I said, I love the direction of the team at this point, and I think that this was another huge win, and it's gonna be a fun plane ride home for these boys. Jesse Hensley, thanks for the 5. Kirk, I liked how the O-line played, but Tigre is the weak guy. He still doesn't come off the ball, and he gets pushed back a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's what part of the things that I was kind of not upset about, because it doesn't affect whoever they start, it doesn't affect my livelihood anyway, but I don't understand what they saw when we had our initial line that would put Tigre ahead of Carson. And again, I'm not trying, we won, so this is not going to be a negative show, obviously, but Carson clearly is one of the 5 best linemen on the team, even with Josh Simmons healthy. So again, I think that's a misevaluation by our coaching staff to not have Carson in there, because, like I said, he played with a lot of energy. And the thing about Tigre is he makes a lot of mistakes. I watched the film and he misses a lot of assignments, and he's not as physical as he should be for being 340 pounds or whatever. Like, he gets pushed back, and big guys are in there to not get pushed back, and he still does. So Tigre needs to get stronger in the weight room. He needs to put in more work, and that's his biggest issue. Along with just, he doesn't know the plays, which, again, this is like year 3 for Tigre. He's not a true freshman. So at some point, you got to ask your coaches, hey, why does your right guard still not know where he's going to when they point to this guy and he goes to the wrong linebacker constantly? So, Nevada, your thoughts. Tigre is the weak guy. He doesn't come off the ball and gets pushed back a lot. And again, like, we got to roll with him now because we don't have anybody else. But I was as surprised as you when Carson wasn't a starter coming out of camp, but I mean, he sure proved today that he was. He should have been. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like we didn't say that 100 times.
Oh my God!
In these podcasts, we were like, free Carson Hinsman. Like, it's just a misevaluation.
Jesus.
But sometimes it gets turned around, and they definitely found something today. I'd have to. I didn't really focus on Tigre, so I had to really, go back and watch the game and focus on him to see how valued the play. But I thought the whole offensive line, again, that's a tough place to play. It's a very, very difficult place to play. It's a very loud place to play, and the Penn State was bringing it. And in general, we did what we wanted to do. I thought we did a fairly good job of protecting a quarterback who didn't have his best stuff. And we still managed to win. And before I forget it, I want to call out Jaden Fielding for making those 2 field goals.
Yeah,
too,
yes, thank God. Oh my God.
Thank God. Those were because that second one snuck in by whatever, but like, it would have been really easy to miss the field goal, and then we're all sitting there going, "Oh no, we missed the field goal," and he makes both field goals. I mean, that's what you need to win. That's why I try to explain to people all the time. Like, football is a team game. It's about special teams. It's about defense. It's about offense. It's all playing complementary football. I mean, the fact that we were able to run it today kept our defense off the field, probably slowed down the number of possessions. The fact that our special teams, made the field goals when we needed them to, that's the difference in the game. So, total team victory. Great time to be an Ohio State fan, and great time for our schedule in terms of how their schedule sets up. Coming off a big win at Penn State. Like I said, I am deliriously happy that we pulled this out. Because, like I said, we didn't need to play our best game of the year to beat Penn State. If we played our best game of the year, we beat these guys like 45-0. But we played okay, and we won going away. So that's when you've got a really good team and really well coached up, and the guys were responding to what the coaches were selling. So that was good.
Yeah, to me, I just when you play out there at that building, you just want to win by 1 point. This is one where, people can complain about whatever they want to complain about, but you just want to win. If you win by 1 point, it's a great victory. 'Cause I'm telling you, playing out there is hard, but making those people sad is just so gratifying. Like, there's nothing in the world that could make me feel better than the fact that those guys are all going to be sad pandas leaving the stadium, and they all spent a lot of money, and they're nasty people. I mean, they are vicious, vile, dumb people. Parker Lewis, former Ohio State Buckeye kicker, is now kicking for Arizona State. He just missed a 47-yard field goal, so he's on brand with how our kicking normally is. So let's go to the film room. I'm going to do that real quick. Erwin Lichtenberg, appreciate you, man. Thanks for the 5. Donovan Jackson is absolutely legendary. I talked about it all week. I'm like, Donnie can accept the challenge and potentially, put himself out there and go play left tackle and help the team out. And, he did. And again, it was it was a battle. I'm sure that he was completely uncomfortable out there. I mean, it's just I've seen that kind of stuff before. It's tough in game, and he's doing it at the toughest environment versus the best player on their entire team. Because 11 is real. I mean, that guy's going to be a top 10 pick. He's quick. I mean, he's really explosive. But he's their difference maker, and you got him basically the whole game. And Donnie was up to the task, which I thought was awesome. Let's go to the film room. Again, Chip Kelly, keep doing this for the love of God. This is like exactly what I wanted. This is what I've been for all year. So Nevada, we're in an unbalanced set here, which unbalanced means that you've got basically you have an ineligible guy up here because you've got 7 guys across the ball. You don't have an eligible receiver at the bottom. So let me get my pen turned on. So there's nobody down here who's eligible. And so you got these guys all up here. So you're tight end and you have 3 receivers. So you have 4 receivers to the left, and they're in man defense, which is insane. But hey, I'm here for it because we obviously had studied this and we'd formation these guys and we saw this in film, and we're like, the thing you get to in this is speed option, and this is my favorite play in football because anytime, like if these guys would walk up in the gaps and do the double mug pressure that a lot of teams like to run on us. With Urban, it was get right to speed option and absolutely cook them, destroy them. Because again, if they jump in the gaps right here and they're gonna rush from the interior, and this guy's gonna rush the edge, and he's rushing, like the 6-man, and everybody's it's cover 0. I mean, everybody's manned up across the board. He's got him. He would come down here and have him. But we get right to it, and there's just nobody home. I mean, Will, good pitch. Again, this is a perfect pitch. I mean, he's 5 to 7. Attacks the outside shoulder, and he's in a perfect position here to not get hit. Because speed option doesn't mean run and get smashed by the defensive end every time. I mean, that's like old school option football. But the way Urban taught it with Alex Smith at Utah was, attack the outside shoulder and then get out of the way, dodge the hit. And that's like the part of it. Make sure you get the pitch. I mean, you're responsible for the pitch, but you get Quinshon out here. I mean, there's just nobody there. And again, this is excellent by Josh Fryer. This is one of my favorite blocks because he has to basically evade the heels here and get out here and get skinny, get wide, and seal the backer. I mean, the backer's got him in man coverage. So if he got someone that seals that backer, and again, this is way easier because the backer, he's covering him. So I mean, he takes a step up, which makes this even easier for Josh. So he gets a piece of him, and it's just curtains. Great. This is great by Seth McLaughlin. He gets up to the second level, seals him. I mean, this is like heaven on earth. So the only guy left is the safety who's 20 yards away who nobody can get to. I mean, you can't. There's nobody that you can possibly put on that guy to block him. So again, but this is free money. I mean, and Quinshon can punish this guy. Whatever. I mean, it's fine, but it's 20 yards. But Nevada, your thoughts on that? Because that's, I mean, there's like stealing and there's too easy. That is the definition of too easy. And again, that's good film study. It's good scheme. And again, that's why option football, read option football, and speed option football is the meta. I mean, that's why I love the option game because it's so hard to go against. Where literally the only guy you got Quinshon versus a safety who's 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, they ran that several times today, and like you said, that's just great play design. We talked about what would Chip Kelly bring to the offense, and in years gone by. It took individual moments of brilliance to convert on plays like this, and that's just great play design. That's an easy play. Let the guy go. Right tackle climbs up to the linebacker, and the quarterback just options that defensive end with a guy. I mean, it's so easy, and they made it look easy, and it turned into big yardage. But no, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you got to run. But you look at the biggest times today, though, 4th and 1, game on line, or 3rd and 1, they're running the quarterback run. Why? Because you can't equate numbers on the quarterback run. And it's a shame that Will fumbled on that one play at the goal line because Quinshon threw an absolutely crushing ball. They never ran it back, but I'd love to see it in when we do get a thing because it looked like he murdered somebody out there. And but no, I mean, the quarterback run is undefeated. It is what has been missing from our offense for the past 3 years. And I've been saying it over and over and over again. And I've had people go, oh, no, Nevada, we don't need to run the quarterback. The quarterback, Tom Brady doesn't run. We don't need to run the quarterback. And it's like, no, if you run the quarterback, it makes everything easier on your team. And Will Howard, again, who was very imperfect today, at the biggest times, they ran him or he kept and ran. And what happened? First down, move the chain. Penn State never got the freaking ball back, and we win going away. So quarterback run forever, forever and ever. And it is my favorite play in football after the screen pass. But I'm going to put the quarterback run before the screen pass and above everything else on the playbook.
Yeah, I think that anyone who says that you shouldn't run the quarterback is just dumb at this point, because even like Mahomes runs, Jalen, you look at the NFL, every level, like when you run the quarterback, like professional defensive coordinators can't figure out how to stop it because it's so potent. And like I said, I love it. And that's why, when people wanted McCord, I'm like, he's so slow and lethargic. I mean, it's like having a non-talented version of CJ. Again, CJ, the thing that bugged me about CJ is like CJ could run, but I think he's just a puss and he didn't want to run. He wanted to protect himself, which again, that's fine. He got paid, which is great, but it killed our offense. Like, I mean, that's why in the red zone, we were atrocious running the ball because he was scared, which again, that's fine. Say Kirk's a meanie, hot take, but I watch CJ run in the NFL all the time. He didn't do that for us. So again, I know that he's the greatest Buckeye ever, but like the dude did not want to sacrifice for the team because again, there is a chance you could get hit. Now again, the odds are probably not, because if we run you on the edge, again, I'm not saying run you in the A gap like you did with Tebow and JT Barrett, run on the edge and slide. No harm, no foul. I mean, they do that with Kyler Murray. They do that with all these young, fast quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels. Because again, if you're the coach, you know how deadly it is to be able to run the ball, but you also have an owner sitting up in the box who's a billionaire. And if your star second overall pick quarterback gets hurt because you're running him too much, then you're probably going to get fired. So there's a delicate balance. And again, there's no reason you can't do that in college. And again, Will didn't take any huge hits. He took one hit on an option pitch, but other than that, he was pretty clean today. So again, like I said, I'm happy that Chip Kelly he might have been the only guy that could have talked sense into Ryan about running the quarterback. And finally, here we are. Zach Donda, thanks for the 10. Couldn't be more proud of this team. The team battle. The D was sensational. If Knowles is stealing tax dollars, give me 5 more years. Proud of the O-line. Something to build on. Go Bucks. Nevada, any comments on that? You proud of how the team battled today?
Yeah, so proud of them. I mean, again, tough place to play. You get down 10-0, man. You get down 10-0. First possession of the game for the offense, and you're just wondering, is it going to be one of those games? And the funny thing is, I never wavered in terms of, I was live betting Ohio State through the thing. I never thought that Ohio State was going to lose this game. I really thought that we were better than them. I thought it was going to take a series of unfortunate events. And I want to shout out the refs too, because I thought the refs were really good today. I thought the refs, I thought they called, even though the Will Howard thing, was that indisputable? I don't know. But I thought in general, they got the replays right. They got the Quinshon incompletion right. They got the Davison interception right. So I thought they did a pretty good job today. And I never thought we were going to lose, though. There was not 1 second today that I was watching and thinking, darn, we're going to lose this game. I really thought we were going to win the whole way. And like I said, I predicted pregame 24-17, and so I feel like I had this one. I had this one on lockdown.
How dumb is Joel Klatt? I mean, he's on that Quinshon call, and he's like, I don't know, that looks like a catch. I mean, he says something. I'm like, in no universe is that a catch. I mean, he never even had control of the ball. It was just bumbling around his hands, and he gets hit, and it goes the other way. And I'm like, and he's like, that's pretty close. That's a bang. I'm like, he never controlled the football. I was like, that should be a 3-second review when you watch it from the one angle where he doesn't even have the ball to make a football move, but he's like acting like that was a close call. And again, I was like, if we miss this one, the fix is in. Like, I'm just telling you, like, that was about as easy of a call as I've ever seen. I mean, did you hear? I mean, because him and Gus are getting bad, man. I don't know. Like, I mean, I used to like Gus, but he's, it's like mutable. Chocolate chip Scoochie, thanks for the deuce. Aller was never hurt the whole time. TF. I don't know. I don't know what's the benefit to acting like he's hurt and then maybe he's not hurt. I mean, Nevada, that might be a little bit deep state-ish to put out that he's hurt and then he's not hurt and then the backup might play and then Aller plays. What are your thoughts?
No. He their whole quarterback shuffle was a complete mess today. They thought they tried to be the smartest guys in the room, and it worked one time with the tight end there on that one run down near the goal line before the defense bowed up.
Yeah.
But in general, the backup didn't do anything. Aller's not going to beat you running the football. And so when he was running, I'm like, okay, I'll be okay, because Aller's path to victory today was throwing the ball against us, and he couldn't really push the ball down the field. Had some runs. We got to fix that up on the interior in terms of those guys being a little bit more responsible with their rushing. But in general, I mean, man, what can you say about a defense that gives us 6 points on the road to Penn State? I mean, that's a championship effort by Knowles, and they came up clutch when they needed it. But that's why all I ask of the fans is, guys, at least be fair now. You guys crap all over that guy. Fire Knowles, fire Day. Man, at least line up and apologize and say, hey, I was wrong, because Knowles is a great defensive coordinator, and Ryan Day is a great young coach. And if Ryan Day gets one, man, he may go on a run and string a bunch of them together. But we're close. We're we're 1 point away, one offensive pass interference call away at Oregon from being undefeated number 1 in the country. But I'm telling you what, I like where we are. I like the one loss. I like people doubting us. I like coming from behind, being that Silky Sullivan, 21 lengths back or 11 lengths back, whatever it's going to be. But this was a big win. This was a big win. So very happy for everybody. But no, I think Aller was he had the knee brace on, then he took it off. But I mean, he wasn't very good. He wasn't very good. And I thought he was ass last year. He wasn't ass this year, but he's not a great quarterback. That's for sure.
I think he's just a guy. I mean, he's run out of time at this point. This is junior year, and it's like, I think he's just a guy. But this is me. And I'm not trying to be mean. He's an Ohio kid. I mean, obviously, I wish he was here, but I've never seen anything from him where I was just like, oh my God, like, watch this guy. I'm terrified of Drew Aller. I'm just not. Jared A. Brandon, thanks for the 20, and thanks for an Ultra member as well. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Would you rather, Time Nevada, would you rather have your QB throw a pick six or have your corner being called for unsportsmanlike crotch penalty in the same situation as today's game? Both terrible. So proud of the team today earning the dub. That's a great question, Jared. I'll go first on this. Obviously, I'd rather just stick the unsportsmanlike because it doesn't put points on the board. The cornerback was being a total douchebag. He knows what he's doing. He was doing the Allen Iverson step over Tyronn Lue thing.
He was teabagging him. Come on, just call it. Like you usually like kneel down when he teabags somebody, but again, it's still like he knew he was being a douchebag. And honestly, thank God the official flagged that, because again, guys get away with stuff like that in games sometimes, and it's so stupid and petty. So I was glad the official was right there and he threw the 15 and made the guy feel like a total idiot in front of the entire stadium. Because again, like, it's classless. It's a douchebag move. The kid's a douchebag and he deserved to lose today. But obviously, I'm sure you're going to agree with me on this, Nevada, because there's a 15-yard penalty is way different than a pick six, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts? Yeah, well, we scored off that drive too. Scored a touchdown off that drive.
Yeah.
So that was enormous play. So, we got some bad breaks, we got some good breaks, but no, that was just a dumb play. Will threw a pick six, and that's unfortunate. But that was just a dumb play on a 3rd and 9 or whatever it was. And he steps over him, and But Franklin is dumb. Though let's just
he is. Like, I mean, he got like a 10-year extension because he beat Ohio State in 2016, and he's been like living off of one win ever since. He hasn't won a single big game since. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
No, but he's dumb. I mean, he's dumb. He coaches dumb, and he always tries to outthink him, but make himself look like the smartest guy in the room, and he's just dumb. And so that play, just a dumb play for a dumb coach, for a dumb team, and I was glad the referee flagged. I thought the referee crew was on it. They clearly had the all-star crew out there today, and that's the way a game should be officiated. They stayed out of the way. There weren't a bunch of penalties on either team, but you can't teabag a guy like that and not get called. And I was glad to see it.
Like, what is this, Halo 3? Woody the Historian, thanks for the 10. Appreciate you, my dude. Thanks for being an Ultra member as well. I see you have a question after this next one. Schaefer Healthcare, thanks for the 20, brother. Dude, Carson Hinsman, like, people will be buying his jerseys after today. This is great. Like, I'm so happy for Carson. Schaefer Healthcare, thanks for the 20. Appreciate you, my friend. I hope you're doing great. Hinsman is the mauler we needed. You called it, Kirk. Nevada OH. Well, like again, like, I mean, you guys don't know, like, I have no problem giving myself, kudos when I'm right about stuff. But it's like, Carson's a guy, like, when you're Mickey Marotti's Iron Buckeye, like, I've been in the building. I worked with Mick. I know how hard he works with kids. And I know Mickey doesn't take anything from anybody, ever. So, like, if a kid's late, I mean, Mickey took Iron Buckeye from a kid who missed a workout because they sent him home because he had pneumonia and was, like, vomiting in the weight room. The kid didn't want to leave because he didn't want to lose Iron Buckeye, but Mickey sent him home because he didn't want the whole team to get sick. And so he lost Iron Buckeye because Mickey sent him home. So again, like, it's that easy to lose it. Like, I mean, the kid did everything right and tough as nails and throwing up, and you got to leave. Sorry. I mean, like, I'm losing Iron Buckeye because you kicked me out because you didn't want anyone to get sick. The kid wanted to work out. So it's like that. Like, it's not a participation award. It's not you showed up to every workout and you get a ribbon. Like, you have to, like, show up. You have to bring it. You can't have a loaf. They track every time you run a sprint. They track if there's any loaf, and they wear these stupid catapult vests. They look like sports bras, and you guys see them in the social media stuff. They run around in those things, and it tracks your speed, your deceleration, the whole 9 yards. And again, like, you can tell if you loaf, like, with analytics now. So, like, I mean, it's never been harder to make it when you've got computers tracking your movements and how fast you lift the bar, and so they can tell if you're taking it easy or not. And Carson still hit it. So, started 12 games last year. We said all week, I was like, I don't think there's another guy that started all 12 games last year who hasn't started a game this season. He's riding the bench, and we've had multiple injuries, and he's still not good enough to even get on the field. And then the dude goes to Beaver Stadium and just balls out. So, I mean, to say that I'm happy for Carson is, like, the understatement of the century. Because again, I've seen a lot of kids turtle and complain and become cancerous tumors inside the organization. And Carson was the exact opposite of it. He stepped in. He was excited to play. He mauled. And again, you guys should give that kid all of the kudos in the world for what he did. Because again, like, he went into, and same with Donnie, like, and really the whole line, because they went into the hardest building in the country to play in versus a really good front four, and they steamrolled them. Ran the ball when we needed to. Again, if you want to be a championship team, a great team, you have to run the ball when they know that you're running the ball. When they know it's coming, you still have to figure out a way to do it. And we did that. Like, when we were in grind mode the last 5 minutes of the game, from our own 1 yard line, we ran for 50 yards and burned the entire clock out. So again, I don't know what else you guys need to be convinced about with Chip Kelly and Ryan Day and Will Howard and that O-line, but that's as good as it gets in that building. Because again, that building, they're playing every song. They're playing Nevada's beloved ringtone of Bo Mamba over and over again, and Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. Like, they just kept playing the same 5 songs because they've got a $5 iTunes gift card that they only have 5 songs that they can play the entire game. They play Bo Mamba, Zombie Nation, and Crazy Train just in just a loop, and they think that it works, and it didn't work today. Nevada, your thoughts? Hinsman is the mauler we needed. You called it, and someone this week, because Nevada's been saying the same thing. We've been saying it for 8 months. So, I'm just glad that the coaches listened to the show and they figured it out and put the kid in. So, thanks, Justin and Ryan and Chip. Appreciate you guys. Your thoughts, Nevada?
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen.
Oh my God!
We're like, the answer was so obvious. We're like, well, I don't understand what you're doing, and it didn't make any sense. And but now I'm telling you, they found something now, because you got Seth at center. Even though Seth's snaps were he was a little goofy on the snaps today. He was throwing them at the shoe tops of Will. Will saved us a few times on some of those snaps, but Seth was Seth, Carson, and Donnie, and Tigra and Josh. I thought Josh played great today. I thought Josh Fryer played great, and I didn't see him getting beat at all. I thought he played a terrific game, and wow, like I said, sometimes the answers are right there, and they say necessity is the mother of invention. So they needed him. They went to him. But big shout out to Carson for, man. He is always, if you watch the games before the games, he is always the most enthusiastic guy on the sideline, firing up the other offensive linemen. Even though I feel like he's been treated like garbage, I feel like he's just been treated so badly. And man, he hung in there, kept battling, and then they needed him today, and the kid just freaking balls out. So yeah, he is definitely up there on my favorite Buckeyes list for sure. And the good news, he's only got sophomore eligibility, so he's going to be around. He's going to end up being a really good offensive lineman before he leaves there. And it's crazy. God. It's crazy to think about that. So pretty wild.
Dude, he's going to end up being a first-team All-American. I mean, dude, he'll be because they'll start promoting him next year. Like, I mean, he's got 3. I mean, oh my God, he's got the rest of this year, his junior year, his senior year. So training and knowing the offense. I mean, he's going to end up being a captain. I mean, if he stays for 5 years, I mean, he'll hit every metric known to man. All Big Ten. Because imagine how good he's going to be in 2 more years. Like, he's a redshirt sophomore right now who hasn't played all year. So, yeah, I'm excited for the kid. Good for him, man. Oh my God, I love you, Woody the historian. You always bring the funniest stuff ever. So I'm going to read it. Thanks for the 5, my dude, and thank you for the 10 earlier. You did not do one of your analytics things, but thanks for being an ultra member. Nevada with modern analytics. Carson Hinsman is the Iron Buckeye offensive MVP. I love the modern analytics super chats. Those are my favorite with modern analytics. Your thoughts on that, Nevada, with modern analytics?
Well, I'm seeing that apparently. Ryan Day went out of his way to not compliment Hinsman in the post-game press conference or something like that. I'll have to listen to that to see him.
Oh my God! Did he?
But
they're gonna make Carson walk home after the game.
I don't care. We're gonna make Carson the MVP here. So Carson for MVP here. We are gonna start that. We're gonna start that chant, and we'll put it all. We're gonna dominate social media because we have the largest Ohio State social media presence in the business. Carson, no, Ryan Day is not planning his exit strategy and leaving town. And Carson Hinsman definitely was MVP, deserves a team ball, kind of like the team ball that Connor Stallions got from Jim Harbaugh that one time for being an intern. But Carson, we're going to give you the first ever Nevadabuck game ball, the virtual game ball. I'm giving it to you right now. I'm handing it to you through the thing. And with that, you get a prime spot at Nevada and Kirk's tree lighting ceremony for our All-American tree this year. We'll put you up in the front row so that when we hold hands and we do like the Charlie Brown Christmas thing and we sing, Carson, you get right up in the coveted front row seat. So you have that going for you as well, which is nice.
I mean, you're just blowing everything out. So we got to go buy a game ball now and everything. I'm glad I didn't bring that up. You declined the expense immediately. You say declined. That is not a good use of spend, Kirk.
I'm not paying for it, but you can submit it.
But Kirk can pay for it. It's like I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for it, but you can pay for it. It's a great idea by me, but
exactly.
Payroll deduct. Jesus God, that's how we roll around here, guys. It's a great idea. It's like, hey, I don't have that bottle of champagne, but I gotta leave in 5 minutes. So when it gets here with the sparkler, it's like they hand you the check. It's like, here you go, sir. I didn't want it. All right, Chris S, thanks for the 10. Live from Tampa. I love Tampa. Tampa's awesome. Great call on finding out the lineup. That's Nevadabuck, boys. You guys think he doesn't have sources? You guys are dumb because he is sourced up and he nailed that thing yesterday. That's how you scheme it up. My confidence is restored, by the way. Tribula had 0 rushing yards. Go Bucks. Yeah, I mean, dude, I thought the thing that the 2 guys that I was worried about on Penn State's team was their tight end and 11. Their DN. Their DN got home a couple times. He's really good. But we bottled up the tight end. 4 catches for 40 yards. And he had that 130-yard rush. But other than that, he had 10 yards rushing on the other 2 carries. And so, I mean, stopping Tyler Warren, who I think is the best tight end in maybe the country. Yeah, I mean, Jim Knowles was masterful today. The scheme was great. Your thoughts, Nevada? It says, great call on finding out the lineup. And again, kudos to you, Nevada. You broke that. That's how you scheme it up. My confidence is restored, by the way. People had 0 rushing yards. Again, locking down that tight end was so critical. And again, when they needed it the most in the 3rd and 4th down scenarios, man, I mean, we clamped them. And Lathan was all over them. They ran that little banana, it was like the Gruden Y banana route. off to the side, and he got clamped, man. And again, it was the play of the day. I mean, Latham was all over that guy. They're double teaming him, they're disrupting him, and again, it's great coaching. Jim Knowles in the building. Your thoughts?
Yeah, great coaching all the way around. They look, there were people actually on the line that didn't think that Chip Kelly called a good game today, and I thought Chip Kelly called a great game, and you know, I don't know what people's expectations are, and I think defensively you can only do so much in terms of calling the plays. Guys got to go out there and execute them. But today they had all the answers, and hey, we try to be fair on this podcast. So when coaches screw up, we'll call them out. We call them out in the Hinsman thing. We've been saying for 6 months. I do not understand, Justin Fry, what you're doing. How you're not playing Carson Hinsman. It does not make any sense to us. But hey, you rectified that today, Justin. All the credit in the world to you getting those guys ready. A difficult situation. Chip Kelly, I thought you were masterful. And Jim Knowles, what can we say? I mean, Jim Knowles is a great defensive coordinator. I think it's going to take people a little while to figure out. No, that doesn't mean that we won't have games where we won't give up points. And yes, that's going to happen from time to time. But man, that guy. Now we understand over the last 20 games, so that's the last 2 years, Ohio State is number 1 in the country in points allowed, yards per play, and third down conversions. Now people can say, "Oh, we didn't play anybody during the time we played Oregon, we played Penn State twice, we've played good teams, bad. We played all teams. The last 2 years, that's where we are." So stop with the complaints about Knowles. That doesn't mean that Knowles, we're not going to make a mistake or we're not going to have a bad game, whatever it is. But man, the guy can call defense, and they've done a great job. And they came up big today, man. They came up big at the absolute biggest times. And so, the internet trolls, the J books of the world out there, you guys can stuff it and climb back under the troll bridge or whatever it is. But Knowles was masterful. Kelly was masterful. Great job coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, and plus you've got guys that you've been in and out of the lineup. I mean, they had to play Jordan Hancock at safety. I thought he played great last week, and he was right back in there. And they've had Ty Leak went down today, which again I pray to God that he's okay. But on offense, the reconfigured line. I mean, Chip I thought did well again outside of, and I was screaming about this on the board about. You need to protect Donnie versus Speed on the road. Otherwise, at home, I think he'll be fine. But you're playing, and again, I don't care if we have Josh Simmons out there, like versus that guy versus Abdul Carter. You need to help on every play. Like don't let that. Like again, just be smarter. And again, I think he might be the smartest offensive football mind outside of Bill Walsh and the Luminaries, Andy Reid. Like he's like one of those guys where he does stuff that's so different, but like they still do dumb stuff. You can't. In a 5-man protection, man, you can't put Donnie out on an island because Donnie was late a bunch because, again, he's not used to playing tackle and he's not used to the noise. So he was late off the ball a bunch of times and it killed him. Set up, hit it. Again, you've got this kind of clustered up crew in here. So you get all of the action down in here, singled up out here. This is where I talk about Donnie. He's here. He's late off the ball. So what does late off the ball mean? When the ball's stepped, he's like a hitch late. You can see it. I know it might be hard, but I mean, he's the last guy to move on the line, which again, I'm rewinding it a bunch of times just so you guys can see it because it's hard to play tackle in the noise when he's not used to the cadence and he's not used to the space. So he's used to playing guard. You're a lot closer to the ball. You can see the ball, but he's a second late, and it hurts him here because he has to get down on this 3-technique tackle who's penetrating upfield, and so he's a little late here. Again, this is not good by Donnie, but again, he's getting some deference because but he's battling. So we do our little play fake. Will sets up right here. Flips his shoulders, drops a dime. And again, he doesn't have all day. And he's got a guy, kind of breathing down. Like when he flips his hips, man, he's got a guy who's breathing down his neck. And he just drops a dime in there in Nevada. So again, for Will Hard not being able to throw, that's a pretty good throw, I thought. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, he missed that one to Carnell, and that's what people, we're going to get all of. But then later in the game, he throws a perfect one to JJ, where I don't know why JJ stopped running. Otherwise, JJ runs right underneath. I mean, that was a touchdown, and that's not on Will Howard either. That ball was thrown perfectly. So no, Will can throw it, and again, did not have a great game today. then I don't know. I do know. You threw a pick six on the third play of the game, and he got rattled, and that happens. But man, I'm telling you what, you can tell more about guys when they face some adversity. Can he come back? Can he do it? And they found a different way. He did it with his legs. That was a beautiful pass there. Like I said, later on in the game, he threw that beautiful pass to JJ where JJ just stopped. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown as well. But no, a great play design, because I'm thinking that play before that, I'm thinking we're absolutely running for sure. And I love it when I'm fooled, because when we went play action, I was like, oh man, something good's going to come out of this. And sure enough, touchdown.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to break one more down because this is great scheme. They know that Penn State likes to run this double mug thing, this where they put all the guys across the line. There's 6 guys up, and you've got the rest of the guys back. So you're man across the board, you're man free. So when the safety is that deep, somebody has to cover the running back. And again, Chip Kelly identified this, and so did Ryan. So that means one of these 2 guys in here, one of the 2 linebackers, the 2 linebackers are standing up. Likely the guy who's closer to the back has to pop out and go cover him wherever he goes. So again, that is awesome on a grease board. Like if you're on a chalkboard and you're drinking your coffee and eating a bagel from Panera, you're like, man, this is a great scheme, because, we think that our linebacker is athletic enough to cover that.
Kirk,
What's up?
Kirk,
What's up?
We're getting reports that we're having buzzing, like we're buzzing in and out or something like that. Is that a problem? Because I just logged in and out, and like you're getting like every other word. Is that a problem for other people that you check on the in the chat, or other people having that problem?
Let me look. It says my feed is cutting out. Huh. I don't know. I can't tell. I mean, I'll sound okay to you, don't I?
You do. That's the thing. That's the weird thing. It's like, to me, you sound completely fine, but apparently the people, they're getting like every other word, like it's bouncing in and out, and I don't know what that's all about.
I don't either. That's interesting, because like I think I'm fine. I mean, my wires are all crossed.
Is that if people could look on the chat and let us know? Is everybody having that problem?
Guys, in the chat, is the audio skipping in and out? Type that in right now. It says this. So we have people that say it's loud and clear, and then we have people that say it's buzzing bad.
Yeah.
And people say you're fine on audio. I can hear Kirk. I can hear both you. There's humming. Kirk is cutting out. So there's people that say we're cutting out. There's people that say it's really bad, and there's people that say it's completely fine. And then there's humming. So I don't.
Yeah, I'm totally mystified.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, this has changed the battery. That's funny. So, yeah, some people say it's fine. Some people say it's not. I'm good here. There's buzzing. Audio. There's a little people say the audio is clear. There's people say that there's buzzing. So, yeah. Again, that's part of life. But again, we're just going to go on with the show because I don't know. This is part of life when some people say it's completely fine, and I sound fine to you, and you sound fine to me. So I apologize. There's background buzzing sound, which I don't know, and there's people that say the audio is skipping in and out. But then, there's people that say it's fine. Sounds like a beehive. So there's buzzing in the background. I don't know if you're like by an air conditioner. Can you hear buzzing in my background? Because I hear like something, like a fan or something in your background. But again, I don't know if it could be me.
Yeah, there is no fan. There's a cat, but there's no fan.
Okay. You sound better now. I don't know if you moved. I don't know if it was a fan. Anyways, all right, let's just see the show. I mean, we're fine. There's nothing we can do. I mean, like I said, at some point you just don't really care anymore because like we're already an hour and a half in. Like I'm not going to redo the show. All right, let's go. So back to the film. Again, apologize if there's an audio issue that half you guys seem to see and whatever. Okay. So we run this play, and again, there's a pop here. And, this guy, whoever's assigned to the back, you're thinking that he can get here on this angle with Trey, and you have no chance. So we run this little flare route, and there's just nothing there. So again, like that's this great scheme because that's free money because that guy can't make that pop. So yeah, like I love some of those little things that we did versus Penn State's defense because they try to be aggressive, but it's tough. So all right, let me see. Let's go to the next super chat. God, we got a ton of them. Thank you guys. Let me see what one were we at. Woody, Carson.
And I got from somebody who's out there that they logged off and logged back on, and they said that the audio is perfect now. So if anybody's having a buzzing issue,
Yeah.
Just try logging off and logging back on. We're trying to solve the technical issues from here. So yes.
Yeah. It's hard when some people say it's completely perfect and some people say it's impossible to listen to because I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what the variable is. Like I don't know. But we have expensive equipment, so I don't. We do the best we can. So, Abby, thanks for the 5. Appreciate you, my friend. Now Joe Gallo can eat his stupid effing words. Great win, great defense. There's hope yet. Yes, I did say we're screwed last week. I don't know what Joe Galloway said, but I can only imagine because Joey's been bad, man. He's not a good analyst, and like he was one of my favorite players, but he's not real smart, like which is disappointing. And he's one of these guys I think that goes over the top to try to slam Ohio State, so he's not accused of being a homer. But what are your thoughts, Nevada?
Yeah, I think he's been kind of off his game lately, but I think it's been fashionable though to bash Ohio State, and that's what a lot of people have done. And we've tried to stay even keel here because we try to make the show fair. If things are bad, if things are going bad for Ohio State, if things are circling the drain or we have no answers, we will tell you. But this did not seem like the time to panic coming off a 1-point loss at Oregon and kind of a lackluster game against Nebraska. I knew they could pull it together. And again, we didn't play a great game today. Defensively, I thought we played really good. Offensively, like I said, Will wasn't really good. Got shaken a little bit, did his thing, but we freaking won by 7 points at Penn State. So, yeah, great day for the Buckeyes, and I really think I think this is an inflection point. Every season has one of those inflection points where you kind of go up or you go down. Well, this is one where we go up from here, and yeah. But with Galloway, I think it's fashionable to do that, to bash the Buckeyes, and we just weren't going to do it just to do it and join with the rest of the sheep and just bash on the Buckeyes because we didn't feel it was warranted. And I feel vindicated now for sure.
You know what it is? It's just sheep heat. Like anyone that makes some sort of a doomsday YouTube video, is Ohio State dead? Is Ohio State broken? Like it automatically gets a certain number of views on YouTube because our fan base is so paranoid that we're going to blow the season and it's not going to go the right way and we're going to have to cancel it and the 20 million roster is going to we didn't keep the receipt, so we don't get our money back and whatever. So again, I think that the national media feeds on our fan base's paranoia. And I truly believe that because I'll see more is Ohio State dysfunctional, is Ohio State done videos about Ohio State in our program than every other program in the entire country combined. Because it's again, like it's why people ding on us because people click on it. So again, don't click on dumb videos because that's the problem. That's what it is. David Kennedy, thanks for these thoughts on Jim Knowles' increased defensive rotations Nevada OH. I think some of it was forced because obviously Tyleek got hurt, but I mean I saw Hero in there at the very end. I mean the biggest down of the game was that 4th and 1 from the 1, and we stopped him with Hero and Caden McDonald and all the merry lads. We had the 2 backup D tackles in there, and I saw a lot of Kenyatta, I saw a lot of Caden Curry, and I think in a long season you need to have some depth because again, it's a lot easier to sleep at night. It's a lot easier to not have a panic attack during a game when Tyleek goes down and you've got Hero and Caden McDonald ready to go, and they haven't only played 5 snaps all season. So that's why I like to rotate guys because then if you've got an injury, then you've got someone that's at least been in the game and has experience like during like nut cutting time, not during when we're up 55-0 and it's whatever. Because I think that's like with Carson. Like I mean, I felt good about Carson because I kept saying this kid started against Michigan last year with 2 first-round defensive tackles, and he started against Notre Dame, who had Cross, who I thought was a really good D tackle. So he played against Penn State last year, started against Penn State last year when we won. So this guy's got a lot of experience. So he's not going to be some, terrified guy. And again, it's nothing against like Luke Montgomery, but Luke's never started a game here yet. So like, do you really want to test that out at Beaver Stadium? Not if you don't have to. Not when you have an option like Carson. So I thought it worked out great. Nevada, your thoughts on Jim Knowles' increased defensive rotations?
Well, Caden McDonald is a freaking man. That guy is he is a player. Every time they put him out there, he makes plays. And whether it was forced through the Tyreek injury or whatever it was, getting more Caden McDonald, please, because that is a man child. That is a guy that's going to be a high draft pick in the NFL draft, and a guy that's going to play in the NFL for a very, very long time. Terrific player.
Yeah, and I don't. He's like kind of like Tyreek, or like early in his career, like we barely played Tyreek, and Tyreek would get in and have like 4.5 sacks, and he played 50 snaps the whole season. And I'm like, why doesn't that guy play more when he's productive every time he goes in the game? Lance Price Jr., thanks for the 10. I hope you're good, brother. Watching Will Howard play is frustrating. Feels like he doesn't play as strong as you'd think for being 6'4", 236. His throw is falls short. Maybe it's his timing. His best throw was through JJ, a bad drop. Yeah, I mean, I think Will's, he takes some chances sometimes, and he has a play or two where I'm sure he wants it back. Obviously, had a couple of those today, but like I said, I love everything about the kid. Like I think he's got a lot of upside. I mean, obviously his throwing has gotten much better since he's gotten with Ryan Day and came into the system. And if JJ catches that ball, like what's his stat line look like? If he drops that dime, because again, I'm like you, Nevada. Like I was like, why did JJ stop running? If he just runs, that's a touchdown. And then to boot, he reaches with one hand. I'm like, dude, at least reach with two. You might have a chance to actually catch it. Like, don't try to reach with one hand. And I don't know if he lost it in the sun. I don't know. I mean, JJ gets a lot of leash from me just because of how good he's been. But that was a bad rep by JJ. But again, Will, like I said, I'm gonna enjoy him while he's here because I think that he's been really good this year. And again, the pick six notwithstanding, obviously that was tough. But other than that, like I thought he had a good day today, and he's got to protect the ball running into the end zone. What are your thoughts, Nevada?
Well, the Will Howard deep ball thing is one of these narratives that just will not die. I mean, he threw the ball over 40 yards 3 times today. One, he drops it right in the bucket to Mecca for the touchdown. Second one, he made a bad throw and it took Carnell out of bounds in the one. And the third one, he went to JJ, and JJ stopped running. Otherwise, that's another 40-yard touchdown pass. So it's no, he does not complete 100% of his deep shots. But today, on his three of his balls, 2 of them were perfect, and he made one bad throw that hey, something. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes the ball gets away from you. He took Carnell out there to the right. Should have been. Good news is came back on that drive and we scored a touchdown. That was the pass to Ennis on that crossing route where Ennis took it in the end zone. So it didn't end up costing us any points on that one. But the Will Howard deep ball stuff, I'm just telling you, much like Trey Henderson is soft or Jim Knowles can't. It's a bad take. I'm telling you, Will Howard is a good deep ball thrower. And like I said, if JJ just keeps running today, we have 2 40-yard bomb touchdowns. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Sergio Salva, thanks for the 5. What a win way to run the ball. The last drive set the tone. Totally agree. You've got a second one in here. I'm going to go right to that. Again, thanks, Sergio, for the 5. We should value Knowles because he has to be creative to rush the passer. I love JJ and Jack, but they aren't dominant. Am I wrong? I don't think that you're wrong. I think that, they're good players. I don't think that they're elite pass rushers because they can't win one-on-one as consistently as you would like for whatever reason. And again, I also think that people get lost in the sauce comparing them to Nick and Joey Bosa and Chase Young to the best passer. And even Sam Hubbard. Sam Hubbard has turned into a $70 million defensive end in the NFL. Tyquan Lewis, huge extension in the NFL. So I don't know. Like I think that they do a good job, but I also think that schemes are harder to pass rush against now because of RPOs and a lot of the stuff that teams do. And I think teams get rid of the ball quicker too. So I think that there's a lot fewer. You'll watch the NFL tomorrow, and the NFL's got really fast players, but it seems like a slower game because there's so much more pocket passing, and that's why the sack numbers seem to be so much higher because guys hold on to the ball longer because that's what they're told to do because they don't run the rinky-dink spread college offense. They run a pro-style offense, and that leads to pro-style sack numbers. So, again, this is my opinion. I could be wrong, but you look across the board at a lot of the top defensive ends in the country, and they're not piling up sacks. Like, you don't see any guys that are out there with 15 sacks right now, 12 sacks. I mean, there's a couple, but It ain't a lot. I mean, I think that the leading sack guy is at Indiana, and he was a transfer guy from somewhere small. Like Kamara is his last name. He's got like 7 sacks, leads the Big Ten. So it's not like the leading Big Ten sack guy's got 10 sacks already. He's only got 7. So it's almost one-ish a game or so. Nevada, your thoughts. Again, Spook Jr., thanks for, yes, make sure it wasn't Spock. Thanks for the 5. We should value Jim Knowles because he has to be creative with the pass rush. Love JTT and Jack, but they aren't dominant. Am I wrong? What are your thoughts, Nevada?
No, I think it's spot on. I mean, I think, look, Jack and JT are well above average run defenders and average pass rushers. And they're not bendy. They're not up. If we had an Abdul Carter or, like we had somebody rushing around the end, would that make a big difference for our defense? Yeah, it would. It would make a big difference, but that's not who we have. So I agree with you. I think it puts Knowles at a disadvantage because we can't bring pressure with just 4. He's got to get creative on his delayed blitzes. I mean, today, I know one of those plays where you don't like dropping the defensive ends, but sometimes you get clever with it. They drop the defensive end right there.
Rush Cody. Rush
Cody. Yep. And so he's, so Aller's looking out to the left and Jack's lurking. So he has to eat the ball and Cody comes in and cleans him up. So, I mean, Knowles was masterful today, but yeah, he's got to get creative because he cannot generate pressure with just 4. And if our defense has an issue, that's the issue. And Knowles has just got to get creative in terms of ways to compensate for it.
Yeah, I agree. Poohbeard12, thank you for pointing this out. Because again, I thought that this was Trey because earlier in Nevada you said it was Quinshon, but overlooked due to Will Howard's fumble, but Trey's lead block was exceptional. JJ had a good block on the outside too. Loved the effort all around. This is on the queue. Okay, hey, I got it. So I think it is your boy. It is Trey because he doesn't have dreads. That's the dead giveaway, Nevada. So I'm going to pull this play up right now because. Yeah, I mean, do you remember this as Quinshon? Because this was actually Trey.
No, I think I said Trey. If I didn't say Trey, I meant to say Trey. I mean, because I saw it as Trey in real time. And I mean, Trey's been killing guys blocking all year. So this was just another one of his crushing blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know you said Quinshon because I thought I lost my mind, and I'm glad that this thing came up. But this is unbelievable. I mean, this is something NFL teams will watch. This is like Ezekiel, really. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is as good as it gets. Like, you know, talk about being a captain, and the people that say that he's soft should be shot. And I'm not kidding. Look at this kid. Talk about selfless. I mean, that's as good as it could possibly get. I mean, good God, guys. People called him soft.
Oh, we had threads about that.
Literally, I mean. God, I mean, and you guys have to understand, like, we live in the message board world, and we deal with some really dumb people. But that is among the dumbest takes we've ever dealt with, and we've seen everything. That's as dumb as it gets, Nevada. But your thoughts on that? You're muted.
Yeah, no, I was just watching Oregon score against Michigan again. Look, that's like I said, people are like, well, Nevada, don't mix it up with people that are saying that. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to let something go out there like these. I talk to these narratives like Will Howard can't throw the ball over 40. Trey Henderson is soft. Trey Henderson is not soft, guys. Trey Henderson's a bad man. And I still can't believe Will Howard managed to fumble the ball out of bounds in that situation. Because you look at him, he's like untouched at like the 2-yard line. I mean, that's like the worst luck ever, but it didn't cost us. I know Cleveland Browns fans hate that rule as well. I do think it's the worst rule in all of football, the fumble the ball thing out of the thing.
Touchback.
The touchback thing. That rule makes no sense. The ball should be dead where the ball was fumbled, but I digress.
It's so funny. Brandon Shelley, thanks for the 20. Appreciate you, my dude. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Do you think we'll see Oregon in? Yeah, I do. I think it's destiny at this point. I mean, Oregon's going to smash Michigan, which we all predicted, and I hope you guys all bet a lot of money on because that one was about as easy money as you'll ever make in your life. Nevada, your thoughts. Are we going to see the Oregon Ducks in the Big Ten title game?
Yeah, I think we are. I think that's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun game. Get them on a neutral field, play a little bit better. And I like our chances against anybody. I like our chances with this defense against anybody in the country. And Dylan Gabriel's not going to just sit back there and everything. We'll have some stuff for him. But I'm just so happy about this win. I'm so happy that it puts us in a position that, the Big Ten title runs through Columbus now. Just win your home games, beat Indiana, beat
Yep.
Michigan, do your thing, and Nevadabuck will be in the house for the Michigan game, and so all will be well. And so the KeyBank Suite that is going to be full of those Michigan fans. Buckle up, boys, because Nevada's coming to town.
I
And I'm
can't
going to say
wait.
hello
That'll be great.
to our tree too. Charlie Brown Christmas tree lighting at our tree.
Should we do that? Should we do a scoop out? I get my tree. That'd be the funniest
We
thing of all
should.
time. Scoop
We
tailgate.
should.
We have like a little grill and stuff. Get Jod. Thanks for the 20. Not sure why, but for Archie, for the last few years, I've seen more and more players slipping on the turf. Has some things changed? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't remember guys slipping like this on turf. Obviously, we played on grass today, but I assume you're watching some of the other college football games that are going on. But I really don't know. Like, I don't know if it's the spikes or what it is. But yeah, it seems like guys are. I mean, our turf's terrible. I know that at the shoe. I've never seen a home team slip more than we do. So our turf needs to be replaced. They replaced it a few years ago, but the turf that we have is banned by the NFL. So I think we should switch to maybe the non-banned turf that might be a little less slippery. But this is my thought. Nevada, your thoughts. Get John says he's seen more and more players slipping on the turf as some things change. I don't know what else it could be. I mean, it's either the spikes or the turf because the players are still the same. But what are your thoughts, Nevada?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't have a good answer for it, but I'm going to dig for it. I have a good artificial turf guy that knows all this stuff, and I'll ask him the questions if it's the pebbles or the time of the year or whatever the heck's going on with it. But I've noticed it as well, and I'm not sure why. Because typically you don't see that on the artificial turf because it's gotten better. But yeah, it seems like it's been an epidemic of it this year.
And again, and I don't know, but like something that has changed in the shoes, like we have a ton of events in the shoe now. Like we have concerts, like we have like 7 or 8 concerts every year now. And when they do that, they put wood across the turf, and then they put chairs down and standing room only stuff. So again, I have no idea if that affects it at all. Because if the stuff's down for 2 days, I have no clue. But that is like we never used to do that, but they figured out that's the way to make way more money in the horseshoe. So it's kind of what we do. But again, I don't know if that affects it, but I know that we try to get more use out of the stadium than we ever used to. Because like when I played, we never had like concerts every summer, but now we have like 5 Buckeye Country Fest and Rolling Stones and whoever like come to the shoe. So again, it's all good. Dave Mathis, thanks for the deuce. Book my tickets to the game. You can start with Nevada OH.
Come on up to the suite. Everybody is welcome up in the suite, man. Everybody. We're gonna do a giant conga line starting for the suite, and we're gonna do it. And
yes.
Uncle Bama Buck is gonna be at the front of the line. We're gonna bum 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 mama bum 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 mama.
Oh God, I'm not gonna be within 25 miles of it, so I can't wait for that. The Chernobyl. There's a domestic terrorist attack inside of a suite. There was a murder. Oh, Jared Henniger, thanks for the 5. How does Fry not lose credibility with the players in his room when he doesn't play Carson, who clearly deserve to be on the field? I have no idea, guys. Like, I mean, I've been around a lot. I've seen a lot. I do a lot. I have no answers for the Carson Hinsman thing. I'm glad he got in there. I'm glad he balled out like we thought he would. But it's the strangest. Like, I don't know if it's a grudge. I don't know if it's. I don't know what it is. I have literally no idea, because it's there isn't a team in the universe that has a 12-game starter that it got bigger, faster, had a great offseason. The hardcore strength coach loves him, and then he doesn't play. He just stands there and roots on the team. Like, I don't know. Nevada, any thoughts on that? Because I don't have any words for the Carson Hinsman saga other than we've been stupid for a long time for not getting that kid in earlier.
No, the weird thing was last week went to Luke Montgomery. Like you don't even go to Austin. You don't even go to Carson. You go to Luke Montgomery. I was like, what the heck are you doing, man? So, but hey, he went to him this week, and you guys saw the difference. Like, you guys can see it with your own eyes. It was like it wasn't like Kirk and I were like making this up. Like Carson is, and props to the helping technician, because helping technician has been on the Carson Hinsman train all year long. He's like, I do not understand why this guy is not playing, and props to HT, because great call, and Carson balled out for everybody today.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him. He's a beast now. Sean Rollins just here to drop a dime. Appreciate you, my man. Thanks for being a wrench. One of our great moderators, Sean Rollins. Appreciate you, my dude. Thanks for being on every night. And I apologize. Last night, I went and watched my high school football coach. He was down here in Columbus. So 75 years old, still getting after it as a defensive coordinator for Perry. It was awesome to see him. So we took a night off to go check out. I don't know how many more games he's going to be coaching. 75. So, but they won like 30. I think it's 35-0, 34-0, something like that. District Fire, thanks for the deuce. Audio on 4 seconds. Is on 4 seconds, off 4 seconds. Well, this is from a few minutes ago, so hopefully it's gotten better since we reset it. Poohbeard12, thanks for the 5. KB, I noticed that Abdul Carter was taking wider sets against DJ in one-on-one passer situations. What can DJ technically do to combat that? Well, you got to close space. I mean, when a guy's out that wide, he can't run a twist with the tackle because he'll never ever get there. You got to be in pretty tight to do that. You generally want to take his space away because I think that the thing you realize when you go against a guy like Abdul Carter is that your enemy is space. When you give him a bunch of room to hit a move on you, you're gonna lose. It would be like if you had a guard like Allen Iverson in his prime when he had his crossover and except when you play offensive line, you can actually hold the guy, grab the guy, get your hands on the guy. You can't do that in the NBA. But if I had to guard Allen Iverson and I was allowed to block him like an offensive lineman, I'm not giving him any space to hit a move on me. And that's what a lot of these good pass rushers are like, good basketball players that have a explosion and they can spin and they've got good power. Like I said, that guy was the best player on their team. I said it all week. I watched this film. We don't have anybody like that on our team. And he made a couple of big plays today. And again, when you're at Happy Valley and it's loud, they should always have someone to help because the other guy wasn't any good. And I said all week that if that guy's going to be against Donnie, then Josh Fryer has to cowboy up and be like one-on-one and just eat the other guy up alive. And he did. And I thought Josh Fryer stepped up to the plate and he didn't need a chip. And I think that, if you're a good tackle and you've got another guy over there making his first start at tackle, you say, hey, you don't need to help me, go help Donnie. And it's not because Donnie's weak. It's not because Donnie's not a good player. It's just because he's never played tackle. And he's playing at Beaver Stadium and he's playing against their best player. So it's like all those variables combined, you better help. But I just close out space on him. I would always try to jump those guys, get on them as fast as possible and then just grab hold of them and just, wait for the ball to be gone because you don't want to just retreat and vertical set and then they have basically a two-way go on you because that's how you're going to get cooked. And at the end of the day, when you're pass blocking, you just don't want to get cooked. That's a great question, Poohbeard. I appreciate you. Nevada, I know that you could talk to me about vertical setting versus defensive end, but you probably want to talk about the tree and the conga line. So...
Bo Mamba.
The Bo Mamba Congo line. Ian Bay, 6 with 5. Media hated Oregon until they beat us. Media left Penn State now. Again, but you see, you guys are wising up. The folks get really wise because they watch this show. Because Nevada, I mean, we talk about betting all day. How much would you bet that the new narrative is that Penn State stinks? They're no good. Not any good. They're average, overrated.
Well, that'll be from a segment of our fan base for sure. One doesn't count. They weren't very good.
James Franklin never wins, anyways. James Franklin never wins. Longer the rotations. Yeah, Randy Pacific. Yeah, I thought the rotations were great today. I like seeing some young guys, and we need more Caden McDonald. I've been screaming for it. He's a great player, and he's really getting after it. But that's the one thing I know. If there's one thing I could bet my house on, it's that when we beat a team that is a good team, a top 5 to top 10-ish team, after we beat them, they are no longer considered good. It's just like, oh, you climbed that mountain. It's like, no, that was just a hill. It's nothing. It's just Mount Fuji or whatever, Kilimanjaro. No, it's just a hill. There's bigger mountains out there. That's what it is. But I think Penn State's good. I think they're going to make a lot of noise. But again, I think with James Franklin, they never get out of their own way. That's the one thing you can always bank on with James Franklin's teams. Ohio Refugee, thanks for the 5. Great win. We weren't perfect, but who is? A good point was made. Fans, we have the same problems as every other team. Deal with it rationally. Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that because I don't think we have the same problems as every other team. I think that we have so few problems that people want to make problems when there really aren't problems just so that they can be miserable. I think most would kill to have our problems, but that's just my opinion. A lot of these teams, they don't have a quarterback, they don't have skilled players, they don't have a running game, they don't have a good defense, the coordinators suck, the head coach sucks, don't have NIL money, like can't win any good games. I think we do all that in Nevada. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that our fans have the same problems as every other team, or is that what's your thought on that?
Well, I think to the point, look, there are no perfect teams. There are no perfect teams this year. There's no super teams. Everybody has flaws. Everybody's got things that they don't do as well as they should. And for Ohio State, yeah, you gotta search pretty hard down the line to find. You got to go to Will Howard doesn't throw the deep ball 100% of the time, or our pass rush could be what happened. Did
you see the Oregon catch?
No, like.
That might have been the best catch I've ever. I mean, if it wasn't the best catch ever, it's definitely the best catch I've seen in college football this year. Holy cow!
Wow.
And there was an ineligible man downfield. No, they're going to take it off the board. Oh my God! The Stewart guy made a one-handed catch in the back of the end zone and got one toe in bounds. I mean, this is like. I mean, I don't know if you guys are watching the game, but this is you guys will see a replay. This is one of the best catches I've ever seen. And of course, some fat lineman there's no reason for him to be down the field. It wasn't even an RPO. Oh my God, what an idiot. All right, sorry. Go ahead, continue. I apologize.
Now, just look, Ohio State, like I said, I think as a fan, you just got to celebrate all the good stuff that's going on with Ohio State and don't obsess on the bad. And I put a post out there today before the game. And I'm like, guys, just try to just enjoy the game. Don't watch the game full of dread, waiting for something bad to happen so you can jump up and down and go, see, I told you something bad was going to happen. And it's funny. It's the same people because your negativity it's killing your viewing experience. And it makes it not fun for everybody else when you're all negative all the time. So, and I am talking to specific people on our board, specifically to some people on our board that are like negative all the time. Stop being negative. Enjoy it. Enjoy a great win like today. There's no perfect team. Ohio State's got as good a chance to win the national championship as anybody in the country. I mean, Oregon's really good, and we lost by one freaking point up at their place. So let's get them in a rematch. Let's get them on a neutral field. Let's play that game again, and let's see where we end up.
Yeah, I completely agree. Ian Bates, thanks for the deuce. Oh, God, if we had Will Howard last year, we're the defending champions. I agree, man. If we have Chip Kelly, too. I mean, I think that the hard part with Will Howard is if you have Ryan calling the plays and not running, then it limits his effectiveness. But I think if you have Chip and Will last year, then we win the national championship. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. It's not just a Will Howard thing, but it's a running quarterback thing. I think they ran Will 12 times today or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. And Ryan has been completely unwilling to run the quarterback the last 3 years, and it's killed our offense. Absolutely killed it. In the college game, the running quarterback is overpowered. At the biggest plays today, we ran the quarterback. It's not like we haven't been saying this over and over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right, Nevada, let's wrap this thing up. Any final thoughts? Great win today for the Bucks.
Great win for the Bucks. Be happy, guys, and let's all flip TVs and beat up on Michigan and complete the perfect day. But great day to be a Buckeye, and just enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Huge win by the Buckeyes. Great win over Penn State. We're going to get on BuckeyeScoop.com. Get it rolling. We're going to have a huge night on the message board. If you guys aren't members of BuckeyeScoop.com, consider joining for the stretch because it's going to be a magical ride. And if you guys want to know what's really going on, who's starting, who's playing, what the game plan is, what's really going on inside the Woody Hayes, join BuckeyeScoop.com. I'd love to see you guys on there. If you guys enjoy this content, please leave us a like, click subscribe, also click that little alert bell. If you guys could, follow us on Apple Podcasts. That would be absolutely amazing. It'd be huge. We've been pushing it pretty profoundly, and we're starting to make a little bit of a dent, which is great. So we appreciate you guys that are heeding the call because it really does help us out. So again, thank you so much, Buckeye Nation. Thank you, Scoop family. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your Saturday because we got our win out of the way. Get to watch football and relax the rest of the night. It's going to be a good night. So I hope you guys have a great time with your family. We'll be back again tomorrow, 7 o'clock to lead into Sunday Night Football. Can't wait to see you guys then. Go Bucks.